So we've been talking about slopes of parallel and perpendicular lines. We've been solving systems of lines. We've analyzed lines. What we're going to do in this video is we're going to get you ready to write equations of lines that are parallel to a given line or perpendicular to a given line that go through a specific point. So let's review the slope-intercept form by looking at a line that has a y-intercept. So right here where I'm putting the yellow dot, we have a y-intercept. And let's find another point that this line goes through. So this other yellow dot. And slope-intercept form, if you recall, is y equals mx plus b. So m is the slope of the line, and b is where it crosses the y-axis, or the y-intercept of the line. And that's why we call this the slope-intercept form. So if we look at our graph, this point right here will give us our b. And when we compare our rise and our run, we will get the slope of our line, the m. So our rise, we're going up 2. So I'm going to write plus 2. And we're going to the right 3. So I'm going to write plus 3. So a rise of 2, a run of 3. So we have a slope of 2 over 3. And our y-intercept is going through -1 on the y-axis. So if I want to write the slope-intercept form of this line, I'm going to write y equals 2/3 x minus 1. And we have the equation of our line. Now, when we get to writing our equations of our parallel and perpendicular lines, you're going to be given an equation of a line, and you're going to be looking at it and analyzing it, but you're not necessarily going to know where it's crossing the y-axis. So we need to make sure you understand how to write the equation of a line without necessarily knowing the y-intercept. So let's think about this. How do you write an equation of a line in slope-intercept form if you don't have a graph, but you do have a point and you do have the slope? So when we have a point and we have a slope, and we know we're writing this in slope-intercept form, let's take a look at this. We have the equation y equals mx plus b, and let's look at the information we have. Well, we know we have m. We have m here, and we have m here, and we have our point has an x and a y, but we also have x and y in our equation. But we have 3 pieces that could be used in y equals mx plus b, and the one piece we don't have, which is the y-intercept, can be found using that information. So we're going to use these 3 pieces of information in this slope-intercept form to solve for what would be the y-intercept of a line that goes through the point 34 with the slope of 2/3. So I'm going to start by taking the 4 and writing it for y equals the 2/3 for m, the 3 for x, and then we're solving for the b. We're solving for that y-intercept. As a side note, when you're taking a fraction like 2/3 times 3, we can do 3 is the same as 3 over 1. So 2 times 3 is 6 over 3. And 6 divided by 3 is 2. So we're going to have 4 equals 2 plus b. And now to solve for b, we need to subtract 2 from each side, and we will have 4 equals, 2 equals b. So we have found the y-intercept. So we have the y-intercept of a line, we know the slope of the line, we need to go back and write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. So the equation of the line in slope-intercept form is going to be y equals, the slope is 2/3 x plus the y-intercept of 2. And that's the equation of the line with a slope of 2/3 passing through the point 3, 4. Let's just practice with one more. Write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form using the given information. So again, let's start with y equals mx plus b. Identify the parts we have. So we have m, which is part of the equation. Our point has x and y, which is also in the slope-intercept form. So we have 3 pieces we can substitute. 6 will go in for y. -3 will go in for m. -4 will replace x, and we will solve for b. So we have 6 equals -3 times -4. Negative times negative is a positive 12 plus b. And then we need to subtract 12 from each side. And we will have -6 equals b. So now we can write the equation of our line because we have the slope of the line and we have the y-intercept of the line. Oops, I was going to write equation, not slope. So let's start this over. Equation of line. Is y equals, the slope is -3, x, the y-intercept is -6. And that is the equation of our line. So this will prepare you for when we need to write equations of lines that are parallel or perpendicular to a given line through a given point.